All right, as we are, in the middle of the holiday spirit here, I want to talk a little bit about the MAGA culture war cash grab. When you hear the endless stream of outrage from MAGA leaders about culture wars, whether it's drag queens, critical race theory, some supposed attack on Christmas, it is worth asking whether these people are really fighting for your values or whether these are even really their values, or are they really fighting for your wallet? Because the issues at play are various combinations of grift and immorality couched as having the moral majority and taking the high road with just looking for cash. I'm talking about critical race theory, trans issues, especially trans sports, drag shows, supposedly woke corporations, gas stoves and light bulbs, attacks on free speech, and the war on Christmas. These are mostly issues with which right-wing influencers and MAGA influencers want to generate clicks and therefore revenue. I don't even really believe they genuinely care about these issues in most cases. Let's go through a few of them. You've got your critical race theory. They love to frame it as a threat to education. It's barely taught anywhere in K through 12 schools, even as an implied framework. Trans rights, targeting trans athletes, bathroom policies, gender affirming care, exaggerated attacks on women's rights or grooming. These are not real issues. I hate to break it to you, but they generate a lot of clicks the way I said to Dave Rubin and Ben Ferguson last time I was on the Piers Morgan show. The drag show stuff and drag show story hour at libraries, falsely claiming that drag queen story hours are in any way harming children. They're not. Woke corporations, boycotts of Disney, Target, Bud Light because of their woke policies. And then, you see Kid Rock just drinking Bud Light after making a big public show of, oh, it's all bad now. The gas stove and light bulb thing, completely manufactured outrage over regulations that they claim are government overreach into everyday life. Claims of cancel culture, silencing right-wingers, often while attempting to suppress opposing views, completely contrived and fabricated. The war on Christmas seems to always eventually come back. Recycled claims that when you say happy holidays, you're attacking Christianity. So those are often issues that are used. Let's look at some of the grifters that are using these issues and how they've turned this fake moral outrage into cash. And it's critical to understand that the MAGA movement thrives on manufactured crises, whether it's the drag queens at libraries or whatever. These so-called moral battles, they always present it as an existential threat to American democracy. The real threat is the people saying, we don't really respect American democracy. That's who I would argue is the real threat. But they say the real threats are, transports or whatever. Behind the scenes, these are all crafted for one purpose: make money, either political fundraising or for media people. The tweets and the podcasts and the insider events, it's all meant to stir up outrage and direct supporters to an open wallet. That's the business model. Now, there's a bunch of different key players here. In some way, MyPillow founder and CEO Mike Lindell, known eponymously as Pillow, he has transformed his company, which is a pillow company at the end of the day, really into a fundraising arm for MAGA. And he talks about election fraud, he talks about trans this and conspiracy theories and that. And it has become a complete and total grift. Charlie Kirk and Turning Point USA, they thrive on donations and sponsorships tied to outrage over these culture war issues. It's not about tax policy and economics. It's, did a college ban a woke? Did a woke college ban a conservative speaker? Or did some book get included in a curriculum that they say is woke? They thrive on keeping the outrage alive for fundraising purposes. Candace Owens, who has built her platform on controversial takes, targeting race, targeting gender issues, targeting Jews recently. Another example, book deals, speaking fees. Being a provocateur can be very lucrative, even if you're not really committed to the issues you talk about. Steve Bannon's We Build the Wall campaign, it was supposed to fund a border wall. He was charged with fraud. for misusing donations. His podcast, the speaking engagements, it's all about leveraging fear of immigrants, woke culture for financial gain. Michael Flynn turned his downfall as Trump's national security advisor to a very lucrative career on the MAGA circuit. YouTuber Tim Pool profits from culture war topics like trans athletes or liberal cancel culture. Fear-based content drives views and ad dollars. And that's really what it's about. He will promote election conspiracy theories or sell merchandise or whatever. It's all premised on the same underlying grift. The common thread is that many of these people don't even live by the values they preach. They talk about family values, but they're engaged in unethical behavior. They promote law and order while they're committing crimes. They claim to be fighting for free speech, except they don't like it when it's other people's speech that they disagree with. And the reality is that these people thrive on division at the end of the day. If you resolve some of these issues to the betterment of the average American, your cash flow goes way down. They don't really want solutions. They want outrage. And meanwhile, their supporters are left with empty wallets. Their wallets are full. The supporters have empty wallets. And the real problems like healthcare and access to healthcare, quality healthcare, jobs, wages, education, it gets ignored. It doesn't generate the clicks. It's harder to sell merch around a bunch of those issues. So remember that the cash grab is a major underlying reason for this. And if you understand, we talked about Arkansas yesterday. If you understand the motivation of the cash grab, you will understand what I want to talk about next, which are some of the real reasons that red states are a complete and total disaster. Well, I wrote a book after a long journey and a ton of work. I am really thrilled with how it turned out, and I hope you'll read it. The book is called The Echo Machine, and in a nutshell, it looks at how American politics got so broken, who has already figured out solutions, and how we can try to fix it and stop the terror of Trump for the next 4 years. With Trump winning this election, The Echo Machine couldn't be more relevant, not only a warning about how we got here, but also about what might be coming and how to prevent the worst outcomes. We've got to stay engaged. We need a plan, and that's what the book is about. There's a belief out there that unless you have corporate media behind you, you can't have a successful political book launch, that it's not possible. I think we can prove that wrong. Order The Echo Machine today at davidpakman.com/echo on Amazon, Barnes & Noble, Audible, Kindle, anywhere that books, ebooks, and audiobooks are sold. You can also call any local bookstore and say, please order me The Echo Machine by David Pakman. Wherever you get the book, you'll get the free pre-order perks, including the signed book plate. Head to davidpakman.com/free book stuff after ordering.